Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 5-day-per-week wisdom and legacy building podcast. This is day 421 of our trek, and today is Wisdom Wednesday. Every Wednesday along Life's Trail, we'll dig into the nuggets of wisdom that are found in the book of Proverbs, and today we'll explore the second half of chapter 17. We are broadcasting from our studios at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. As we wrap up another month, it is amazing how quickly time does pass by. While it is very important that we maximize our impact on the world each day, it is also very important that we enjoy all that we do and take time to relax, recharge, and re-energize. It is then that we will become most effective. It is imperative that we plan, prepare, and execute effectively each day, but realize that ultimately, our dependence on God will give us the wisdom, insight, and understanding that we need to keep moving forward and succeed in our endeavors. As Jesus' half-brother James wrote in his letter, chapter 4, verse 13 through 15, it says, "Look here, you who say, today and tomorrow we are going into a certain town and will stay there for a year. We will do business there and make a profit. How do you know what your life will be like tomorrow? Your life is like a morning fog. It is here for a little while, and then it's gone. What you ought to say is, if the Lord wants us to, we will live and do this and that." You should never stop your pursuit to learn, to laugh, and to love, to maximize your impact so that your legacy will continue to live on through the lives of others into eternity. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. With this in mind, it is time to head out on our trail for today and to discover more nuggets of wisdom that are found in the book of Proverbs. We will dig through verses 15 through 28 of chapter 17, and the title for today's trek is extracted from verse 22, and it starts out with, "A cheerful heart is good medicine." So let's jump into verse 15. "Acquitting the guilty and condemning the innocent are both detestable to the Lord." There are few things in life more difficult to see than justice perverted in the courts of law, and yet it is all too prevalent in the courts of the world. I have personally experienced this situation when a friend, who was wrongly accused on two different issues near the same time, was placed in the county jail with no warning. He did not have the money to post bail, so he remained there for 18 months, while his case went through the process, during of which the prosecutor continually tried to force a plea bargain on him for something he was innocent. He persevered and finally did have his days in court and was completely exonerated by a jury of his peers. I did visit him weekly during this time, so it became very real to me also. While justice was finally served and my friend was freed, it was a trying 18 months for him. I certainly understand better why this type of practice is so detestable to God. Verse 16, "It is senseless to pay to educate a fool, since he has no heart for learning." When a person has no obligation or responsibility, there is less reason to try. If a person does not have a real desire to learn, even if you remove the obstacle of cost, that person will not learn. It is far better to have the desire to learn and the responsibility to pay for that education, for it is then that true learning takes place. Verse number 17, "A friend is always loyal, and a brother is born to help in time of need." You will always tell who your true friends are when you are in times of struggles and hardships. They will not only be there to strengthen and encourage you, but to hold you accountable when you get off base. A true physical or spiritual brother or sister will be there in the time that you need them most. Verse number 18. "It's poor judgment to guarantee another person's debt or to put up security for a friend." Debt is always a millstone around your neck, a weight to hold you down. Debt, in nearly all situations, is just not wise. It causes you to become a slave to the lender. My advice is to be very careful to take on any type of debt. There are very few necessities in life, so do not borrow for the non-essentials. It is also very unwise to guarantee another person's debt, especially if it is not an essential item for them. Guaranteeing the debt of someone else is the same legal obligation as borrowing the money yourself, and then you do not have the legal rights to what was purchased. If someone else cannot afford to purchase something, they may just need time to wait until they can. Lenders will always attempt to get a cosigner for a loan, even if it is not required. Verse number 19. "Anyone who loves to quarrel loves sin. Anyone who trusts in high walls invites disasters." If you are a person who loves to argue with others, it is an indication of a proud heart. If you feel your way is always right, this in itself is a sinful habit. If you are standing on the truth, it will speak for itself. There is no reason to argue your point. In a related thought, if you have to build up high walls around who you are in an attempt to protect yourself, you are inviting others to breach those walls. This is just human nature. Instead, stand for the truth, and the high walls will not be needed. Verse number 20, the crooked heart will not prosper. A lying tongue tumbles into trouble. The truth will always win out in the end, although it does not appear to be the case at times. Given time, it will. Those with crooked hearts will suffer, and those who lie to get ahead will trip on the very lies that they propagate. Verse number 21, it is painful to be a parent of a fool. There is no joy for the father of a rebel. It does strike your very heart when your children, whether physically or spiritually, make unwise choices and foolish decisions when you have taught them otherwise. It is difficult to remain joyful when they turn away from God's Word. One position we've come upon in our lives, that we will not allow the unwise or foolish choices of others to rob us of our joy, because the joy of the Lord is our strength. Verse number 22, a cheerful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit saps a person's strength. While I'm not a doctor, nor have I ever played one on TV, I was an EMT in college. But beyond that, I have seen the proof of this in my own life and in the lives of countless others, that it is very true that if you choose a heart of cheer each day, regardless of your circumstances, that it is better than any medicine that can be prescribed, and there are no negative side effects. On the other hand, if you do not choose a cheerful heart, your spirit will become broken, and you will lose your strength to live the rich and satisfying life that we are meant to live. Verse number 23, the wicked take secret bribes to pervert the course of justice. This is all too familiar in companies and governments around the world today. Bribes are given and taken with little thought of recourse. We do see this perversion of justice on a daily basis. We can take heart, though, that God's justice will prevail in the end. Verse number 24, sensible people keep their eyes glued on wisdom, but a fool's eyes wanders to the end of the earth. Gaining wisdom does require daily focus. To be a sensible person, you must have the passion and burning desire to gain wisdom. You will not allow the distractions of life to pull you away. Contrary to this is the fool, who is always looking for something bigger and better. They will search everywhere, but never find what they are seeking. Verse number 25. Foolish children bring grief to their father and bitterness to the one who gave them birth. Similar to other verses in Proverbs that we have studied, it does bring grief and bitterness to parents who have poured their hearts and souls into their children, and then to see them make unwise choices that bring them harm. Your hope is in the fact that if you have planted the seeds of God's Word into their hearts, that eventually those seeds will begin to grow once again. Verse number 26. It is wrong to punish the godly for being good, or to flog leaders for being honest. This verse may seem obvious, but in many situations and cultures, the good and honest ones are being punished, and that is just not right. Let us always look toward promoting and encouraging those individuals that are being good and honest, especially if they are in a position of leadership. And then we'll combine verses 27 and 28. A truly wise person uses few words. A person of understanding is even-tempered. Even a fool is thought wise when they keep silent. With their mouth shut, they seem intelligent. Verses 27 and 28 are tied together and are a couple of my favorite verses. We do not have to go on pontificating our opinions, wisdom, and insight. If we are truly wise, our lack of speaking will speak volumes. A wise and understanding person will also be even-tempered, not given to emotional highs and lows. To expand on this in a rather comical banter, even if you are a foolish person, you can minimize others knowing it by just keeping silent. You may even appear to be an intelligent person. This is so hard for the foolish and ignorant because they are usually spewing out so much useless talk that it is obvious what they are like. The nuggets of wisdom that we've gathered in verses 18 through 28 of Proverbs chapter 17 provides more tasty morsels of wisdom, insight, and understanding. Regardless of your faith walk, if the precepts in Proverbs are followed, your life will be rich and satisfying. Take them and plant them in your heart so that you'll reap a harvest of goodness. Tomorrow we will hike another short trail of Wisdom Unplugged, where we will discover an inspirational wisdom quote. So encourage your family and friends to join us, and then come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, Creating a Legacy. That will finish our trek for today. Just as you enjoy these daily doses of wisdom, we ask you to help us to grow Wisdom Trek by sharing it with your family and friends through email, Facebook, Twitter, or in person when you meet with them, and invite them to come along with us each day. If you'd like to listen to any of the past daily treks, they are available at wisdom-trek.com. And don't forget to subscribe to Wisdom Trek so that each day's trek will be downloaded to you automatically. The journal for today's trek is available at wisdom-trek.com. And thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend, as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. And as we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.